And welcome back, and this is Sean. So I thought today we'd have just a quick look through weapons and things and what they do. Now there are hundreds and hundreds of different weapons, different abilities. Two weapons may look the same but may not be the same, or they're a different level. And just what I'm going to do is just show you my stuff that I use most of the time, not all of the time. So through these walkthroughs and tutorials, you will have seen my bar down the bottom, this little toolbar thing, my control panel. And this is the stuff I've settled with that I use 99% of the time. So I'm just going to go through my stuff and show you what it is. So if we look at what I'm wearing, first of all, so you bring up your character screen, and I have, and this is my personal choice at the moment, people will choose anything they want to use. This works for me. It may not work for you. So I'm a TAC officer. You'll have different equipment if you're science or engineer or whatever. So being a tactical officer, the first thing I have is a kit over here, top of the right. And I have a Borg Combat Structure Tactical Kit. Now, how this works is if I use 7 different kit modules, it will it will deploy an almost indestructible, I've found, Borg combat structure, which is a bit like a laser beanie thing. It's a big ball that stands on top of a stand and basically shoots everything around it. If you look at the stats, you can see what it does. It basically just kicks ass. So I like it because, and the reason I like this myself is because if you're in a battle and you keep using kit modules and doing stuff because you're really stuck into it, this thing will come out and it's got your back. Now there are hundreds of different kit modules. This is the one I like. You'll notice most of the stuff is gold because I've upgraded it to elite. One of the weapons isn't because I've actually just had to do an endeavor and use a lower class weapon to complete that endeavor. But so we go along the top. So part of my kit is this one. I like things that help me to do my job so I can concentrate on other things. So generally they're very aggressive attacking things. So this one particular is Sompek Lightning. What it does, you click on a target and you click the lightning button on your toolbar at the bottom and it basically fries them with a bolt of lightning. It's fantastic. It does have a recharge rate. If you look down the bottom, you can't use everything all the time. This one has a 54.5-second recharge rate, which means pretty much a minute. So once I've used it, cannot use it again for a minute. And this is important to know these things because you can sometimes choose your weapon on how long it takes to refresh. Also, in my traits, I think I've probably got a trait that allows these things to recharge quicker. So you can get that too. The next one along for me is a crystalline spike. This is better against lower class enemies, particularly if you get a mob. What it does, it throws a little ball away from me and a spike grows out of it. And it attracts everyone. It basically, everyone will go and attack that instead of me. So while they're attacking the spike, trying to take it down, I can kill them or run away. It's really good. So it's kind of defensive in as much as it stops people attacking me, but it leaves them open for me to attack them. It also does damage to them. The next one is Dot 23. I love my drones. So Dot 23 will fly around me and basically shoot at people. That's pretty much it, really. It's another bit of weaponry. This one I need to upgrade. This is a Exocomp, which is basically another drone that'll go around and annoy people. Now this is one of my favourites. I've only ever seen me use this, but I'm sure other people do. This is a crawler swarm. So when you click on it, what happens is you see a lot of red circles or icons on the ground, and they're crawlers, and they will crawl after enemies. If there's an enemy shooting you or hiding around a corner, it will find it and blow it up. It's just fantastic to watch. It's a bit like watching a RoboVac, you know? The things that are meant to save you time, vacuum your floor, but you spend all day watching it vacuum your floor. It's a bit like that with a bomb on it. And the last one is a turret fabrication. Turrets are great. You put it down and it shoots people. These ones only 15 seconds, but as you'll notice through my walkthroughs, if I know I'm about to get attacked, I'll put one down, because by the time the turrets is fired for 15 seconds, they basically rip through the enemy. Love it. Down here, my body armor. I have some Imperial Assault armor. All the stats are there. Does what it says on the box. If you notice near the bottom, it said it's part of a set. I've got 2 of 4 parts of that on. If you get all 4 parts, you get a 20% bonus to what everything does. So really I should find the other couple of items. I do have the disruptor pistols, but they're not elite yet. Oh look, here they are. So what I need to do is to just make them elite, and then I'll have a full set and the bonus. And what's the other thing? For Nano Plus, I'll find that. Oh, that's the Bat'leth. I've got that somewhere. So maybe I should put that on as well. That's the Bat'leth is obviously hand-to-hand. My EV suit is the Selene Marksman suit. There are better ones around. I like this one because it looks nice and I can cope. So each one you wear looks a little bit different. Next, my shields. This is my particular shield. It gives me 683 maximum shield capacity. Quite a good recharge rate. But you can get better suits than this. It suits me. I don't really die when I'm doing missions, unless I'm doing tutorials and talking too much. It works. Here's your weapons. Chop and change depending on an endeavor or something. This is my main weapon down here, which I think everyone should get to help them a lot. Look at the DPS on that. So the pistols give me a DPS of 174. This stun beam projector, 270, so a third more. It's a great weapon. It takes people down. It's awesome. But each their own again. You may find your own weapon. I saw somebody use one of these and I couldn't believe its killing power when I was quite a lot lower level than I am now, so I just had to have one. Devices, well, there can be anything you want. I've actually got the remodulator on there, which I don't need anymore because I've finished the tutorials and I'm not looking forward to battling any Borgs at the moment, so I could change that out. For something else. I'm not even sure I've got anything else at the moment. This is a device, but I would have had something. I would have taken it off. Oh yeah, I can click on the square. What a silly man. So I can get All of these sorts of things that I could use. Not even sure there's anything I want to use. Oh, should I have the flare? Nah, it doesn't really do anything. So you can get another, I could put a Tribble in there, I suppose. Doesn't overly worry me. But what I do have, I have a Parvin Healing Crystal. So that not only affects myself, but the whole team. That gives them some extra hit points. And it removes holds and stuns. So sometimes you'll notice I've got stuck and I can't move. That allows me to move. This next one over here is a Paradox Corrector. That will restore 50% of my maximum hit points and also to the team. So it helps everybody I'm playing with, whether it's you guys or my away team. This is my favourite. He's a combat trained tardigrade. He just wanders along and eats people. He's only very rare, but I think he's cute. And he'll just get stuck in. So if you want to, say people are slightly out of range, set him free, get just in range, and he'll wander off and just kill people. It's fantastic. And I'm also using my Selenade Tribble, which once every God knows how long gives me a little bit more oomph. Gives me a free Dyson Sphere mark as well. Removes all previous Tribble buffs. So if somebody's carrying a Tribble and they use it on me to affect me, it removes it. I'm not really into Tribbles, but it's epic and I've got it. So there you go. So that's the stuff I'm actually wearing as such. A lot of this stuff comes down the bottom here. So there's the drone, turrets, tardigrade, crawlers, spike, dot. Now I've got this ability which comes from traits, I think, back in the fight. So I can click that and get plus 20 resistance rating to ranged weapons, run speed, incoming healing, and maximum hit points. That's good because sometimes you need to update that. Fire on my mark gives me 50% less damage rating. But what's it do? Damage rating and stealth debuff. It helps with damage resistance and stealth. Anyways, medical nanite cloud that revives, or 50% chance of reviving unconscious allies. So anyone on my team or my people. It gives them immunity for 2 seconds, which doesn't sound like long, but 2 seconds is a long time when you're being hit by a mob. Also, if someone's disabled, it will unstick them and stuff like that. There's my healing crystal. Now, one little ship is a device that I got. That's a little Danube runaround, which walks in for 30 seconds, and it's a little miniature ship and just flies off and kills people. It's fantastic. Here I can download a security escort, so it downloads 2 extra people for my team. There's a 20% chance of downloading a 3rd person, etc., etc. This one here is my Lightning, another Exocom. This one is Tactical Initiative. Now what that does, if I click that, it means my kits will recharge in 40% of the time. So the thing that took a minute will take probably about 40 seconds. It really helps. There's another drone. Strike team, if I click that, it adds bonus damage, 50% bonus damage for everything. and some crit chance and crit severity. So when I can click that, it makes me more powerful by about 50% for a short period of time. There's my treble. These are things that are always there. This is your weapons and your, if you're close to somebody, you can hit them in the face with it. This button here, target optics. Again, extra damage and crit chance. So just more bonuses for when you're fighting. There's a button there which gives me plus 2% damage versus Dominions. Well, you've got to be fighting the Dominion for it to work. Hey, but it's there. There's my frequency remodulation for fighting the Borg. That's my paradox corrector. Reputation Flourish is quite cool. I'm not sure it gives you anything useful, but you look quite cool. It tells everyone that you are all of these things. Ta-da! Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, don't think it does anything other than that. Maybe it does. Now here we've got a holographic trader. So I can just beam somebody in and do my mail, do my exchange and everything, just standing here. Saves going into a building. I can do it in the middle of a battlefield as long as I'm not getting attacked. Let's say I'm getting attacked and I'm like, oh, I need a better weapon or whatever, or I can get one. And the old resus, if one of your team's down, you go next to them, click that button, it resuscitates them. So that's all my ground stuff. Over here you've got the weapons, and as I say, you can swap from weapon to weapon, which one is primary or which one you're going to use. Get it out, put it away. That's the ground weapons. Now let's go up and we'll look at the ship stuff. So we'll beam up, doesn't matter where it does. I don't want to go there. We want to actually go to the ship. And I'll show you what I have on my ship. Again, there are much, much, much more powerful ships than I. People have been playing more attentively from the beginning. Maybe somebody had a lot of tutorials and didn't have to blunder their way through it. However, I'm very, very happy with what I got. So here it is. First off, we'll look through the menus up here. So it's an Ilashi Dreadnought. It's a great ship. I love it. It's very strong. It's very powerful. So my 4 weapons, mostly elite. I am building them up because I haven't been doing the serious part of this for that long, whereas most people at my level will have so much elite stuff it's not funny. Anyway, so I've got Polaron dual beams, anti-proton dual beams. I've got a torpedo, of course. Now I've got mainly weapons that have a 90-degree arc, and it's because I'm quite aggressive and I point my ship at the enemy. If you don't, you want the 260-degree beams if you're using beams like this one. So what I'll probably do is get some more beams and upgrade them to elite level, because that will give me more power when I'm broadsiding. But that, so the elite level 250-degree beam is 700. But look at that, when I'm pointing straight on 90-degree, 867. So, you know, it's a lot more powerful. Just depends how you use it. That's my deflector. Again, it's part of a kit. I really should find the missing part. Impulse ending, warp engines, shields. So aft weapons again, plasma beam, phaser turret. I like this one on the back. It's only 513 DPI, but it's 360 degrees and it's elite. It fires all the time. And so does that one. but nearly 700. So they're basically firing all the time. You can only equip one of each type of weapon. So that one's an Agni Phaser, that one's a Tetram Beam, so I can't have any more of those on, but I could probably, if I look hard enough, find another 360 degree to go in there. Maybe that's my next thing I'll do. Devices, there are so many. So this one brings in some Herc ships as a support. So if I'm in the middle of it, I need more ships, click that button and I get more ships come in. Same with the Nimbus Pirate. This button here, Temporal Negotiator, makes my bridge officer powers recharge in half the time. So if something took a minute, now it's 30 seconds. Red matter capacitor, that increases my all of my power levels 25 plus 25 for 20 seconds. Sometimes you need that extra boost. And Delta reinforcement, so I can bring in Delta. In reality, I only need one of these. I either should have bring in Hercs, Nimbus, or Delta. I don't need all three. I need to get rid of two of these things and put in some different devices, which I'll do at a later date. Again, I haven't really been concentrating on this. I haven't needed that extra power, but I think that's the next level for me, is to actually get a lot more power going on. And that's when you get to this stage and you are pretty much not getting killed. The next stage is to build everything up to the nth degree. This console here is a hull heal. I like hull heals because that's what kills you. Even sometimes a weapon will go through your shields and it'll take your hull out. So I like that. It's important. Here, that's an assault craft. That's the one that's on the bottom of my ship, comes off. That heals my hull again. This one protects me against damage of various types. Swarmer Matrix is really cool. It sends some swarmers out and also gives me increased turn speed and flight speed and stuff like that. So it does a couple of different things. Science, Protomatter. I love my Protomatter weapon because it hits people hard. It damages their shields. It goes through their shields. It's just ass kicking. If you're coming up, as you've seen me use it in some of these walkthroughs, if you come across, say, just a Klingon fleet and you fire that off, it'll decimate them, all their shields. So you just go in and finish them off. This one's Approaching Agony. It follows people, goes around the ship and starts to do damage to them. It's brilliant. Here we've got Akar's Revenge. It's another thing that goes out and damages ships. It's a lot of damage, look. Down here on the tack. This gives us more control against certain types of damage, but it also fires a weapon. So these consoles have two parts to them. There's a defensive part and an attacking part. Everybody will have something different. And everybody, if you ask 100 people what are the best consoles, you'll get 100 different answers. So work it out for yourself and how you play your game. Proton Charge Launcher does what it says on the pack. Fire some proton charges at people. The icing's pretty good. It flies to a ship and it basically damages it with cold damage and affects the way the ship works. It's actually quite cool. Cut and Tractor Beam, that's a Borg weapon. It goes out, you fire it like a little ball, it goes out, it finds a ship, and it cuts through the ship's hull. Awesome. My hangar, sometimes called hangar pets. These are elite Scorpion fighters. I love them. If you get a ship with a hangar, get these, because it doesn't just send out 3 ships, it sends out much more. It says there, you see, it says a wing of 3 ships. You've seen them. There's a lot more. But this sends out 3 times 3 wings. If you see at the top here, when I've put these. So by the time I click that twice, and there's only a 30-second recharge, I think, 40 seconds, I have 6 times 3 lots of fighter ships with some pretty awesome weapons. And they will either protect my ship if I tell them to, or they'll just fly off and shoot things up. Brilliant. So that's what you can see I've put on. Down the bottom here, some of this stuff we've seen before. Down here, you add it to your toolbars where you want it. So I split mine up into 2, as I've said, aggressive on one side, defensive on the other. And just to go through quickly, because there are, as well as the weapons I've equipped as I've just shown you, there are bridge officer skills. So we've done this one. Now this here is an extra. This is a tethered asteroid. If you're being attacked by lots of little things like swarmers or fighter craft, it does work with big ones, but not if they're too powerful. You push that button and it drags behind us an asteroid, and it's like a magnet. It pulls ships towards it and then starts to damage them. So if you use that in combination with your rear firing weapons, it's awesome. Here we see a time tsunami. So that goes out, surrounds or gets near an enemy and starts to deal it damage. Here is high torpedo yield. You've had these probably since day one. And torpedo spread. Vulnerability assessment suite. So these things actually allow you to hit the opponent harder. And as I said earlier on, some people will put 4 or 5 of these on their ship, as many as they can, and it can be devastating. Tactical fleet helps you and your team. Same there, same there. These are defensive. Let me go down the aggressive ones. Done that one, spoken about it, spoken about it, spoken about it. That one there, deconstructive resonance. That's like having an extra weapon on board. It fires out a weapon that does 1700 worth of kinetic damage times 2. So that is 35-ish, 100 lots of damage, and ignores shields. So it just like hits the hull of the ship. It's brilliant. Here's my drone swarm. Gravity well. A gravity well pulls ships into it, and as it's pulling ships towards it, it starts to do them damage. Makes it hard for them to get away from it. Proton charges we spoke about. Fire and mine mark. Gives us a bit more damage resistance and stealth debuff. Tychoon's Rift fires out a rift towards enemy ships and deals them some damage. Now you'll get attack patterns alpha, beta, delta, various levels. For instance, alpha gives us a bonus of nearly 50% damage to all weapons for 20 seconds. That's a lot. Same with crit civility, and it allows us to turn faster. That is a lot of damage. Weapons efficiency makes them work better, uses less power. Similar. There's the ice thing. Protomatter. Now this is a button I use a lot, evasive maneuver. This is 3. It allows me to go nearly 500% faster and turns nearly 500% quicker. Makes it harder to target, and it's really good for getting in and at them. There's my assault craft launcher, the thing on the bottom. There's my elite fighters. Another weapon. And various other stuff here. You know, this is defensive. I won't bore you going through it all because it's a bit much of a muchness. That one there gives us a bit more hull healing and hit points, transfer shields. So basically, find a weapon that suits you that can send out a lot of damage, preferably over a wide firing arc if you can. These things here, engineering teams heal your hull, and sometimes you've got to hit them very fast. Keep that hull working. I've actually, on this ship, I haven't used it at all yet in any of these missions with the walkthroughs. I'm not keen on it. It's a shield. It's a cloak. So even we can use them, depending on your ship, of course. Sometimes if you're about to die, but you've got to be quick, you can actually click the button, put the cloak on, and just slink around for a bit while your hull heals. So that's pretty much what I've got. Can't wait to see what you get. I am going to change this stuff as I go along now. Now I've got more time. So that is a very quick, hey, what's he using guided tour. Thanks for watching. Next, I'll probably do ships. Who knows? Please follow, please subscribe. Catch you later.